With us now is Deana Martin. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
You are an extraordinary talent. I think you have like 5 albums. Uh, Tell us about your most recent one.
Swing Street is the most recent. Yes, Swing Street. It was so much fun to record that. I did it at Capitol Studios, of course, where my dad recorded Uncle Frank and Uncle Sammy and everybody. And in fact, I had some of my father's musicians, which
You
is really
did.
quite something. But I had Patrick Williams who was conducting and arranging and fabulous songs. And it was just a blast to be there. Because originally, when I was very young little girl, I went to Capitol Studios with my mom to watch my dad record his very first #1 hit, and that was Memories Are Made of This. Unbelievable. So years later, I'm there recording with some of those same musicians. Fantastic.
What's so interesting about my own personal journey is that I feel like I kind of, in a way, grew up with you. What do I mean by that? Well, Christmas in my home was always filled with your dad's records, Frank's records. We always had them home in our house. We were always playing them, not just at the holidays, but like my entire upbringing. Such talent. And you are also very gifted, extraordinarily talented. When did you know that you wanted to also be in the industry? Because for some children of celebrities, they decide not to go into the biz. But here you are, making a name, and it's yours.
Yes, well, I was very young. In fact, I believe, let's see, one of the first times that I went to Las Vegas with my family, and I'm sitting ringside, in the Copa room at the Sands Hotel, and you hear the announcer say, "Ladies and gentlemen, the Sands Hotel is proud to present the star of our show, direct from the bar, Dean Martin." And out walks my dad in the tuxedo, and he was funny and he was charming, and he sang all these great songs, and the audience around me went, "Oh, there he is." And so I thought, "Oh, there he is." And it was so much fun, and I knew right then that that's what I wanted to do. And I thought, well, you know what, I'm Dina, so I'm supposed to be doing this. And it's been a lot of hard work, but it's just something, it's in my heart and soul. And I love entertaining people and singing and dancing, and it's in my blood.
You've always grown up, you referred to them as your uncles. You always grew up in a household full of music. People were just coming over and singing around your piano. What was that like? Can you just share a little bit of that experience for you where you were surrounded by just everyday, members of your extended
Uncle
family?
Well, imagine coming downstairs and there's Sammy Kahn writing a song at the piano. It could have been Time After Time or Ain't That a Kick in the Head. And so you were mentioning Christmas. Christmas time at the Martin house was unbelievable. Of course, we had a big tree. We'd go down and we'd pick out the tree, and then we'd have it delivered. And then we would all the kids would go down to the basement. We'd pull out all the decorations. And, in those days, the big long string of lights, and they were huge. And we'd, plug it in, see if it worked. We'd change the bulbs. And then my dad would get up on a ladder, and he put all the lights around the tree. Then we decorate it, and we were listening to fabulous music. And then on Christmas Eve, of course, we'd go to mass on Christmas Eve, and then we'd come back after. But it was, maybe we'll say Rosemary Clooney is there, and we're singing "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas." You know, it was unbelievable and so much fun. But I tell you, having all of those people as my dad's friends, and it was the singers, it was producers, directors, and I went to school with a lot of them, and it was just an amazing big fun house, lots of brothers and sisters. There were 7 of us, you know. So imagine if each one of us had a friend over, there's 14 people. And just a great time.
Your dad, I'm just going to just be open and honest with you, and I hope you don't mind that I'm going there, but did your dad cross over in early 2000 and was it 4?
Actually, my dad yeah, on Christmas on 1995.
95.
1995.
1995. Because I thought
And
it was around, as I was
yes,
just sitting here with you right now, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I think it was holiday time. And I didn't like Google it beforehand, Deana, as we're sitting here talking. All of a sudden, I'm sitting here talking to you about Christmas, and for whatever reason, I hear something in my ear that says, holiday time, holiday time. And I was thinking it was like New Year's Eve, but it was Christmas.
it was actually Christmas, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. But a very odd thing, and it's a spiritual thing, I'm sure. My grandmother, his mom, passed away at the same time, 30 years before that, same time on Christmas. Yeah, it's so it's we celebrate both their lives on Christmas, of course. Well, we celebrate them all the time, but it was just he was Mr. Christmas, for us.
Oh, it
Although
will.
I have to say, my dad would call Andy Williams Christmas. We'd be out to dinner and Andy Williams would walk in and he'd go, "Hey, Christmas." It was cute.
Such great memories, and like I said, I feel like we've all of us have kind of all grown up with you and Nancy Sinatra. There's like it seems like it was the Rat Pack, but then there was like the Baby Rat Pack almost, right? It was
Maybe the Rat Pack. Yes, and Nancy and Tina and Frankie, all good friends. And I remember doing the Dean Martin show, and we had it was a Christmas special with the Martins and the Sinatras. We all sang with our dads, and Tina and I sang with Uncle Frank, and Nancy and Dad and Frank Jr. and my brother Dean Paul. We were all there having a fantastic time. It was, imagine that, having the Martins and Sinatras together for a Christmas special.
absolutely
Right.
beautiful, absolutely beautiful. One of my favorite albums too. Like I see my memories by album covers, right, of your family.
Yeah.
When you decided to do your own albums, how did you come up with your cover art? How did you decide to create your own look? What was that moment like for you when you get to decide on the theme? Swing Straight. It's so exciting.
Well, Swing Street, that's a fabulous, cover. But I'm going back to the first one, which was Memories Are Made of This, and it was just I had the photographer Pat Lambert, and she's fabulous, and so we went in and we did a session, and I wore. I'm trying to think what I wore. It's probably right on the cover, but and she found this shot. So they send us all the shots, and I'm going, well, this one's good, that's good, and then she said, you know what? I think this one is the perfect cover. So that's how we got, the Memories Are Made of This cover, which is great. Now for Volare, that Volare album, it was again, going out and with the photographer and figuring out what. And I wore the purple dress for Volare, and there's just one shot. We said that's perfect. Put that on the cover. When I'm thinking about Destination Moon, that fabulous cover, and it's we were in Los Angeles recording the album, say at Capitol Studios, and it was the supermoon. There was a supermoon. We were sitting out at our friend's house, and there was the moon up there, and I was recording Destination Moon, and my handsome husband John says, "You know what? I can see you. We got the moon behind you. You wear a pretty dress, and it'll be like, you're in the water, and then you're walking out of the water with your shoes off." And so we took the picture, and he drew it up, and it's beautiful. That's the album that I sing True Love with, duet with my dad. Just beautiful. So, and then Swing Street, we were in Savannah, And John kind of had the idea, well, let's go Swing Street, and let's find a brick wall somewhere and get a moped or a, no, what is it? What's the Italian? Uh, it's not a
Vespa?
moped, but it was, yeah. I mean, it's a fabulous little scooter, and it's a great shot. So, all the covers has a different idea, and we don't, yeah, but I have my own style,
Yes,
and
you certainly do.
yeah, so it's just, oh,
And you
thank
have your
you.
own show. You have your own Facebook show. Now, was Tony Orlando a recent guest on your show? Or I know I saw something where you're connected to him. You're friends with him.
Oh, well, and I've been friends with him for years and years and years. I adore him. And I met him, I think, the first time on the roast, the Dean Martin roast, when he was, on the panel, which was so funny. And he was such a doll. And of course, I've loved him ever since, Tony Orlando and Don tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. And so we've remained friends for forever. And I called him and I said, would you, be on my Facebook Live show? He said, what time do you want me to call in? And so I did. And I think that was right before the Grammys. He called in the day before because he has that fabulous radio show on WABC on Saturday nights. And so I called in and it was fabulous. And now I have my own show on WABC. It was the first show last night. Yeah, so that was really fun.
Jazz hands for you. And
Thank
isn't it
you.
wonderful as we continue in our journey to be able to celebrate the arts, to be able to explore things, because not everybody was born with a talent. And speaking of talent, while we were off camera, our engineer said to us, Tony, the director said that he learned how to play Everybody Loves Somebody on the brushes, on the drum.
Right. How fun is that? And and then I said, that song, "Everybody Loves Somebody," written by Ken Lane, who was my dad's piano player. It knocked the Beatles out of first place. It went to number one. And in 1964, no one else could do that. Not Elvis, not Frank Sinatra. And when it happened, my dad sent two telegrams, one to Elvis and one to Frank Sinatra, and it said, "I did it." So
And he really
cute.
didn't have to say more than that. That's fantastic. And I did. I
That was,
loved watching your
yeah.
dad's show. I hope that in some way, Deana, I do that whole entire generation proud. You know, your dad brought so many memories for so many people right to our television, and such a talented person. And I'm so glad that you were able to, watch that, to be around all that talent growing up. And then for you now to celebrate your own talent, whether it's your Facebook Live show or your radio show or your new albums. Um, what do you enjoy best? Now that we're able to perform in front of live audiences again, what are you looking forward to the most?
Actually getting out there in front of a live audience. Let me see, last month, my PR, my publicist, he was getting married in Nashville. And he asked me to come to the wedding. Of course, John and we went to the wedding and he asked me if I would sing. And so I said, well, sure. Everybody knows You're Nobody Till Somebody Loves You. And the band was great. So I got up and I was singing You're Nobody Till Somebody Loves You. And there's, 200 people and they're all standing up and clapping and laughing at my jokes. And I'm going, boy, I really miss this. Because, for my Facebook Live show, I'm downstairs in my rehearsal room with an iPhone on a tripod. And, when I finish this song, my husband goes, yay. Rosario go, oh yeah, good. So I missed being out with all the people and my musicians and just singing live with everyone and getting the feedback because that's what I love and that's what my dad loved to do. So that's my favorite thing. I think performing live in front of an audience with great musicians, that's my favorite.
I thank you for being with us. And you did sing a little bit of a Christmas song. What is your go-to song if somebody put you on the spot and they're like, Deana, sing? What is that for you?
Probably You're Nobody. Yeah, well, it is. But one of my favorite Dean Martin songs, the way he would sing. I don't want to be the one to say I'm gonna miss you, but I will. It was just the way that he sang that, that it's always been, one of my favorites. But, I would always sing, everybody loves somebody sometime, and you're nobody. Or when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. It's just, there's so many. And you're not going to cry, are you?
I am, but I'm not going
I
to
am.
because something just came to me too. We were talking about spiritual connections. Wow.
Yeah.
I lost my husband to colon cancer, Deana, and he was in a coma. And he was in a coma, and I was up in the dining room, and for whatever reason, I was singing that song, and I, when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, and Tom responded. My husband Tom
Oh,
responded, and
just got chills.
you just brought that memory back for me. We were talking about your dad and your grandmother and the serendipity of all of that. And Tom and my first date was on Christmas, and when he said, and when he answered Amore, I was like, Tom? I was like, I rushed to his bedside, and then he went back into the coma. But that music brought him that one more second to me, and it just dawned on me when you sang that to me. I love that. I love life. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for your time, for your talent, for your joy that you bring people. I'm a huge fan of yours, and I hope someday we could break bread and maybe even have a little bit of pizza together sometime.
We will do that. We'll have a little sippy poo of a little red wine, and thank you for what you do. You're fabulous at what you do, and so keep doing it. And I wish you all the best luck in the world. And I love you, and I love you guys. So we'll do this again when I have my next album out. Because over
Absolutely.
this past 70 weeks, I've learned 70 new songs, and so I've got to
Yay!
go. I'm going to have to go record those. One of my favorite new ones is "Send Me the Pillow That You Dream On, So Darling I Can Dream on It Too." So all these. Oh, it's all connected. All
It's all
right.
connected. Life is beautiful. Thank you so much. I really, really enjoyed your company today. And I wish you continued success and all the best. Be well. Bye, Deana
Mwah.
Martin. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye bye.